The station where our veterans' voices are heard, MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Welcome, Quack.
Program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Welcome to Hot Takes with me, hosted by the Murph Man, where life gets real and the mic stays hot. That's right, your favorite is experienced and yeah, that's smart and funny guy. From classroom chalk to comedy clubs, Murph Man breaks it down with brainy thuds. Parenting stress or college mess, he's been through it all, no need to guess. Insights are sharp and data's tight, rants are ready and the jokes are light. Hot takes, real talk, keeping it true. From high school halls to podcast cues, laugh a little, learn a lot. Turn it up, this show is hot. Honest, funny, maybe loud. Never scared to stand out proud. When life gets real, the mic stays warm. Hosted by the dad with lots of charm. Insights are sharp and data's tight. The lens already and the joke's online. Hot takes, real talk, keeping it true. From high school halls to podcast cues, live a little, learn a lot. Turn it up, this show is hot. Grab your coffee and let's get into it. No filter, no fluff, just real talk. Let's do it. Ready or not, here we go. It's time for Muffin to start the show.
In a world drowning in data and dread, two men rise, not as saviors or scholars, but as the Murph Man and Connor. Witness their journey as they navigate the treacherous waters of, well, whatever they feel like talking about. Prepare for Hot Takes with the Murph Man, where opinions are strong, facts are optional, and personal experiences are the name of the game. They're not experts, but they play them on this show. Their passion isn't a performance, it's who they are. And sometimes that authenticity means a little adult language might slip out. They apologize for that ahead of time, promising to keep it minimal, but their reactions are always genuine. Now grab your coffee, sit back, and enjoy the show. Here are the Murph Man and Connor.
All right, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Hot Takes with the Murph Man. I am the Murph Man. I'm here with my co-host, producer, son, Connor. How are we doing today, Connor?
Good. How are we doing today?
I'm doing really good.
That's good to hear.
You know, last night I had our screen and share with stream915.com, and we were able to have the media come out. I think I made it on the news. We had a full house. It was an amazing thing. It was like El Paso's first local film festival.
That's cool. That's cool.
And we had different artists and stuff like that. So I was networking yesterday, and we got some stuff coming up on the, for some future events, future shows, you guys. So we're gonna have some guests and everything, really cool ones. How about you, Connor? What's going on with you?
Nothing much. I've just been going with friends and just hanging out. Really, this week's been a chilled week.
How's school for you?
Going good. Same as always. Nothing much.
You're doing better with chemistry?
A little bit, yeah.
It's hard.
It is hard. Really hard.
It is very hard. When I went to college for the first time, I've told you I was not a good student. I had really bad grades. I would never take any advanced classes or anything. And I get to UTEP and I don't qualify because my SAT scores were too low. So they made me take the ACT. I scored high enough on that because it's a little different than the SAT. And he's like, yeah, you're good. You know, you're on probation. Okay. So then I went in and I took chemistry. That was stupid. You know,
Mhm.
dropped it. I had all these courses and I was just not ready for college. You know, and yesterday I was talking to some of the guys at the show and they said, "What makes you have a hot take?" And I said, "Well, the hot take is I'm truthful, right?" So like I'll ask you, on a scale of 1 to 10, how prepared were you for college now that you're there?
A 4 or 5.
Okay. And if you had put more effort into it in high school, would that have made a difference for you?
No,
No?
no.
So what was different for college to now? Or from high school to now?
It's the same, just different like subjects. That's it.
Different subjects?
Different
Okay.
classmates, different school. So
Because I know one of the things that I had trouble with was the sheer room size, the classroom size, the people in there. You know, like how do you expect to get anything done? You know,
just getting it done.
sorry guys, I have really bad allergies. I'll be coughing the whole show. Um, you just get it done. It's that simple.
I mean,
You
yeah.
know, see, I'm a guy that likes to talk to the teachers, not become friends with them, but you know, talk to them on a regular basis and share stories and get to know them and everything. That's why I have such a good network, you know.
I guess
Um, that's how I made all my friends in the school district, you know. So, but anything else going on in the world we should talk about?
not that I know of. I don't watch the news. I don't know what's going on.
Well, let me tell you something. Okay, you know I don't talk politics, but you remember went to the Capitol building,
Mm-hmm.
went to the White House, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
You remember there's two sides to it, the East and the West Wing. The West Wing is where his
Yeah,
office is.
I guess. Yeah.
He's torn down the left side of the White House to build a ballroom. Just desecrated that whole
A ballroom?
ballroom, 250 million ballroom. Yeah,
Why?
that's what he wants. But the thing is, do you remember how beautiful that building was?
I don't remember it clearly, but yeah,
That's
it
when
was
we had
nice.
the very long line to get in. Then we walked through
I
every room.
don't remember that much.
But the first half of the tour, it was gone. It was gone. Disappeared.
Shit.
All that history. And guess where they're putting all the debris from the
Excuse me.
demolition
Where?
in the Potomac to build a golf course,
In the what?
the Potomac River. Remember the river we went over? Oh, hold on. Let me tell you guys something.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
When we went on a trip to DC, you know, I was trying to experience it, right? So we rented a bike and we were riding around all the national treasures and everything, you know, going to all the museums and whatever. And at one point, we were going to go to the movies. And we took this road, and I was trying to get to where I was going, but actually, it turns out that I was on the second level, which is actually the freeway, and the first level was where we needed to be. So the GPS was telling me to go straight, and I realized I'm on the freeway. So Connor and I stopped right on the side of the road, and two cops passes. Do you remember what the cops told us? Nothing. Nothing. They just waved at us like, you got bikes on the freeway, you're not going to stop us. You know, it's pretty crazy. But yeah, we had a lot of adventures on that one. Yeah, half the White House is gone. Poof,
That's insane.
it is. It is. What else is going on? The NBA scandal,
The what?
the players and the coaches that got caught cheating and betting and stuff. Chauncey Phillips.
Nope.
Yeah, he's not going to do good.
Never heard of it. That.
Never heard of him. He's a Hall of Famer.
No,
He's a player.
I've never heard of the scandal.
Okay. You know, and then let's see what else. I'm trying to think what else happened this week. Did you ever go talk to your advisors? That was the other thing. Applications and stuff. No?
I made an appointment for, I think, before Halloween.
That's next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's because for freshmen, they're gonna talk to us in November,
Who is?
advisors. That's what everybody's telling me. All freshmen are gonna talk November, but we can still talk to them if we want.
What has been my motto through everything we've ever done?
I don't know.
Plan ahead.
Yes, plan ahead. But I mean, what if I can't do it? And that's why they're doing only freshmen in November.
If they tell you that, then they tell you that. But if they
Okay.
don't, you get a head start on everybody.
Well, I guess, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the whole point, right?
Yeah.
Um, Planning ahead is so important, guys. And one thing today's episode, you guys, is going to be talking about a 4-year college or a trade school. What should we choose? So with that, let's ignite the fuse on today's show.
Welcome to Hot Takes with the Murph Man. Today is episode number 12, College versus Trade School, the 4-year degree versus the hands-on career. Welcome to Hot Takes. Today we are talking about college versus trade school, the 4-year degree versus the hands-on career. Now here are the Murph Man and Connor.
That's right. We have trade school versus 4-year college. Now, Connor, you did the trade school and now you're doing the college. How different is it?
I mean, very different.
Very different, right?
Oh, yeah.
The trade school only trains you for that one thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully they train you well. In the college, you have to take all the other courses and stuff. Now, one thing before I start this show, I want to say something about college and universities versus trade schools. The one problem I have with trade schools is that the schools shut down and they leave the students with a lot of loan and not a lot of chances to transfer those credits anywhere because they're not accredited. And it's one of those things that I really have to think about because it bothers me when students are working hard to say become a nurse and then halfway through their program they get kicked out because the school closes. And that's happened a few times here. Now we have, like here in El Paso, we have a few trade schools, but two main ones are Western Tech, has been around for years, has several campuses. I think that one's going to be okay. And Southwest University, the one that sponsors the Chihuahuas, the park. I think they're doing good. They're expanding. So, hopefully these are some really good colleges or trade schools that will be around for a while. Hopefully, I do hope that. I'm glad that we're here to talk about this, but let's just jump into the question that's on everyone's mind. Today's burning question.
Today's question is related to our main topic of choosing between a 4-year college and trade school. Here it is. What do you call a post-secondary school that offers hands-on training for specific careers like an electrician, welder, or dental hygienist? Is it A, a 4-year college, B, a community college, or C, a trade school? Take some time to think about it. And now back to the Murph Man to find out what the answer is.
What is the answer, Connor? What do you think? What do you think it should be? We have.
What was the question? People Streamlabs don't know.
Okay, so the question is choosing between a 4-year college and a trade school. What do you call a post-secondary school that offers hands-on training? Is that like an electrician, welder, or dental hygienist? Is it a 4-year college, community college, or trade school?
I would think it's a trade school.
It is the trade school. That's what we were talking about, right?
Yeah.
It is a trade school. And we're definitely going to be talking about this throughout the whole show, you guys. Now, my hot take on this is something that I want you to think about. A 4-year college degree is the only path to success that's outdated and frankly wrong. Why do I say that? Well, for many students, trade school is smarter, faster, and more financially sound choice. You can go to trade school, save a lot of money, get a job, and make $60 to $100 an hour. Cosmetology. We talked about this with barbers. How much do you think your barber makes?
I don't know.
I'd say 60 to 75,000 a year. It's also a cash business for most cases.
True.
So, a welder can make several $100s. Like I have a friend of mine who's an underwater welder. He goes underwater and he welds the docks and everything, and he makes some serious money. So why go to college? That's the point. Why go to college? Get a lot of debt. Like to become a nurse, you have to go through 4 years of school, then you have to go 2 years here. Programs like community college offer the RN degree in 2 years, I think. Yeah. but they focus mostly on the nursing, but they're accredited. And the thing about that is, if halfway through the program, the student decides to get out of the program, they can transfer their credits within the college. So that's a good thing about it.
Excuse you.
Yeah, so when we do this, think about it, okay? Look at it and say, what am I trying to get out of this? Am I trying to go to work in something that I'm getting trained specifically for? And what happens if you finish that degree for trade school, right? You get to the end of it and you don't pass your test, or you don't want to do the job when you get to the job. What can you do? Can you go to another college?
No.
Yeah, but you can't take your credits with you. They don't transfer.
Well,
So you can, but you have to start all over again. And I had a friend of mine who's doing HVAC, and he's studying. He's a postman. He's going to retire, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to retire as a postman, and then I'm going to go work and do HVAC in my own schedule." So I'm like, "Okay, I think that's pretty good." But he just, he's going to make some money, right? There's nothing wrong with making money, right? Having a lot of cash, that'd be nice, right? Yeah. And you do it the right way, trade school or community college or four-year college. I don't know what's right for you guys. I don't. Every person is different. You need to understand that your needs are very different. When I tell Connor, like, what do you want to do when you grow up? You ask some adults that, ask yourself that. What do you want to do when you grow up? And are you getting to that point where you know what you're doing? Think about that. I knew from an early age, well, not early, I should say, after high school, when I became a counselor in the Army, I said, that's what I want to do. I know I want to do that. And as I'm a counselor and doing everything, I decided, I want to be a teacher. So I became a teacher, and Connor graduates high school. I'm still a teacher. And I'm like, I'm going to start a podcast. Could I go to school for this? Yes, I could. Right. I could go get a broadcast or journalism degree or something. Right.
yeah. So why don't you?
Why don't I? Because I don't need it.
That's nice to have it.
Okay. I want you to think about the time we went out with the girls and we were at that pizza joint. Remember?
My cousins,
Okay. And yeah, we didn't go on a double date.
yeah.
That's what sounded like, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we went out with his cousins, my nieces, and I was talking to the owner, and my niece is interested in doing something artistic. She has this craft stuff that she does, and she's amazing at it. She actually takes old vintage spoons and melts them down, or not melts them on, cuts them down and shapes them to make rings, and they're really beautiful rings. So think about this: every time you look at a spoon, that's the part she makes for the ring. It's pretty cool, And she says, "I'm gonna get a degree in business." I said, "Go for it, right?" And the owner was talking to us, and he's like, you can go and get a degree, and even go for a master's in business. Get out and not know what you're doing.
Right. It's easier.
The best way to learn is doing, and you have to get help along the way. One of the partners last night with me at the Screen and Share with screen915.com was Brian Rodriguez. He's a lawyer here in town, and he says, I don't know everything. I know the law. I'm not an accountant, so I hire an accountant. I do PR, but I want to have someone do my PR. I get someone to do my PR. If I want to learn what else is going on, we do that. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things that get the people around you that you need to do those things. Like if I know how to run my business, right? Like the podcast. If I can do this, I don't need someone to come in and do this for me. Can I do my own editing? Yeah, I do. Can I do my own sound? Can I do my own videos? Can I do my own animations and everything? I do. It's funny because one of the things that I'm doing is not only my podcast, but I want to do animations and stuff. And lately, I've been dabbling in a few different things, and I'm expanding. And that's what I was talking to the lawyer about yesterday about my LLCs and everything. It's pretty cool. But what's really funny is I want to, how can I put this, to learn the business. So I'm talking to other content creators and asking them what are they doing to be successful. And that's one of those things that you really never think of. What are you doing to be successful? And if you think about it, that's what matters, right? Not what degree you have, not what knowledge you have. It's your experiences that get you to that point. So it's one of those interesting things. And I want you to think about that. When you do this, when you think about what you want to do for college, excuse me, what you want to do for college, think about what you really want to do, and you'll be able to do it. Excuse me. Okay. So I don't know. It's one of those things that you have to really think about what you want to do and get it done. That's what matters. You got to get it done. So I'm looking for something here and I don't see it. Give me a sec.
What are you trying to look for?
I found it. Never mind.
Okay.
All right. So be prepared for what you want to do. Think about what you want to do and decide, do I want to go through 4 years of it and have the chance to get there and not know anything and start from scratch? Because that's, you do know stuff, don't get me wrong. But when you get to the I'm drawing a blank. When you get to a trade school, it's all hands-on experience. So by the time you get to a job, you're able to do the job. You should have a journeyman or apprenticeship and all that stuff, but you're more trained to do the job itself versus a business degree that can go anywhere. So at this time, you guys, I think I'm going to take a little break real quick. When we come back, we will definitely go over some of the terms we're going to be covering in Laying Down the Codes. We'll be right back.
It's time for a break. Hot Takes with the Murph Man will return after these messages.
Welcome to Wreaths Across America, proudly partnered with Military Broadcast Radio. Walking through the cemetery, we are reminded of the profound sacrifices made.
Not every soldier resting here has someone to visit them at Christmas. They gave everything for our families.
Veterans fought for our freedom, for us to chase dreams and live the lives they never finished. This time of year, we honor them, one wreath at a time. It's about remembering their sacrifice.
How can you help honor these brave men and women? For just $17, you can honor a hero this Christmas. It might be the only wreath on their grave, the only thank you they received this season.
Make sure every veteran is remembered, not forgotten. Their service deserves our eternal gratitude.
Freedom isn't free, but remembrance can be accessible to everyone.
Join us in this meaningful cause to honor our heroes. Beaker invites viewers to help us lay wreaths for the ones who gave everything. When you buy a wreath, send Military Broadcast Radio a message. They will personalize your tribute. They'll provide a picture with a salute to your loved one and send it to you so you can still be there in spirit. Thank you for joining us in this important mission. Wreaths Across America is proudly partnered with Military Broadcast Radio. Help us remember, honor, and teach. Let our veterans' voices be heard, now and always. Thank you for your support.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
All right, and we're back. Let me tell you guys, we're broadcasting right now on Military Broadcast Radio, and they are an amazing organization. They're nonprofit. They're right now trying to raise money to do the Wreaths Across America, where they put a wreath on your loved one's grave at a national cemetery. I will have 3 of them this year, and they put it out there, and they put the wreath on, and it's just a way of recognizing your family members who are buried there. And it's primarily, the soldiers who did, serve the country. And if you're a veteran and you're interested in doing podcast or have a radio station or I don't know, whatever, consider contacting mbrradio.us. Go to the website and tell them you're interested in becoming a content creator with us. And I'll tell you what, H-Train's the guy who's running it. He's amazing, an amazing person. He does so much. He's a good guy, right?
He is a good guy.
So, I'm glad to be part of this organization, and I hope you are too.
I'm happy about it.
You're happy about it? All right. And then, so you guys donate to Wreaths Across America, please. That's something we do need. Let's get back to the show. We're talking about all these different situations and everything, but you may not understand some of the terms we're talking about. So let's go ahead and lay down those coals and get those key terms out of the way.
Before we dig in, let's clarify some of the key terms we'll be using today while laying down the coals. Trade school, a school offering hands-on training for a specific career.
A 4-year college, a university offering bachelor's degrees in a wide range of academic fields. And finally, opportunity cost. This is a big one. It's what you give up when you choose one option over another, like 4 years of potential income while you're in college.
All right. So let's go over some of those. Can you hear me okay? Oh, I was on mute.
Oh, that whole time?
No. I was coughing, and I did that, and I forgot to take it off.
You were muted the whole time.
No. Sorry about that. So some of those key terms, are very important. So let's talk about those key terms for a little bit, all right? First, you have trade school. A school offers hands-on training for a specific career, and I mean very specific, all right? There's several jobs you could get, like nursing, right? You can become an LVN, an RN, whatever the case may be. You can get medical records. You can become a welder, an electrician, apprentice, a journeyman, plumber, cybersecurity, auto repair. There's a lot of trade schools out there, you guys. A lot of jobs you can get. Right? That's what we talk about when we talk about trade school. The 4-year degree is a 4-year college, say, is the university offering a bachelor's degree that is transferable to other places, which trade schools are not. Remember that. And the different kinds of degrees you can get, I don't know how many are at UTEP. I say at least 150 with all the degrees and everything. Because we have bachelor's, associates, you have
masters, doctorates.
Maybe 150.
About.
Maybe more, maybe less. I don't know.
I think it's more.
You think so?
I think. I don't really know the number, but yeah. I think it's more. Oh, excuse you. I think it's more than 150.
You think so?
I think.
Look it up, if you don't mind. And then you have the opportunity cost. This is the big one, you guys. What you give up when you choose an option over another. For example, I could become a nurse, go to community college, and pretty much get that fixed with my financial aid or basic cost and whatnot. Or I can go to college and get a loan and end up paying with tuition and everything for one semester, or 1 year was $15,000 for you, right? That was with you living there.
Or what?
UTEP, going to UTEP
semester.
Yeah, if you were to live there, it's $15,000, right?
I think.
Or is that?
I didn't really look at the information for that. I think that's per year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, per year.
I think it's less. Yeah, in total per year, it's like $750 per semester.
Oh, 7,500. You're right. And then the room and board was the other 750. That's
750.
$7,500. Not $750. That'd be easy.
Well, but that could be like per month or per something. I think it's per month.
No.
I saw like ads or something on the UTEP website that was like rent this room for like 750.
Oh yeah, no. There's rooms you can rent for 750, but I'm talking about like your dorm.
Oh, then. Well, yeah, that's the dorm, the rooms.
No, that's an apartment on one of the houses around the UTEP campus. Okay, they don't rent out apartments on UTEP. Okay.
You mean they don't rent out dorms?
Well, right. They don't rent
Okay.
out,
You said apartments.
well, yeah, it's an apartment for rent. They don't rent out apartments.
It's apartments for rent, but they don't rent out apartments?
Right. UTEP doesn't have apartments, they have dorms. So when you see an apartment for rent, that's not UTEP. That's somewhere else off campus.
Well, they're putting ads on UTEP for it. So.
Yeah. Well, where are you going to recruit students to move in with you?
Instagram? I don't know. Don't ask me, dude.
Instagram. In the old days, they used to do papers and they would have little tearaway numbers. Have you ever
Yeah,
seen
like
that?
the little, yeah.
Nowadays, everybody does QR codes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes, did you find out how many degrees UTEP offers? That's it. We got distracted. All right. But the opportunity cost, you guys, is one you have to really, really think about because it's very hard to decide what to do because money plays into it. That's the reality of it. You could be a great student and you get financial aid and scholarships and all of that. You could be the lowest student in the class, lowest paid family in the city. You get financial aid, you can still go to college. Okay. So there's no excuse to not do post-secondary education. And I tell you, no matter which route you take, you will make money. Okay. The difference is like with me, excuse me.
Excuse you.
I'm trained in psychology. And when I decided not to be a counselor anymore, there's not a lot of jobs that require psychology. So I had to go get retrained. And that's what I'm doing right now. Did you find the answer?
There's over 175.
175. Yeah. There you go.
74 undergraduate, 76 masters, and then 22 doctorals. Yeah.
And how many students does UTEP have right now? Ooh.
That. Hold on. According to Gemini, 26,297 students as of the fall of 2025.
One of their highest enrollments, I believe.
It's record breaking. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're the highest.
So, and the thing is, the campus is not very big. It's landlocked. What I mean by landlocked is
we're on a mountain.
Yeah, literally built on the side of a mountain. They've had to carve into the mountain to build the stadium, which is a beautiful stadium. But you have the campus. It's very crowded. There's hardly any parking on campus. It's mostly one or two streets and sidewalks, right?
Yeah. It's kind of, since we're on a mountain, they like put a road going around it, like going along the mountain, I guess you could say. And they just did like tiny parkings here and there.
Wherever they could flatten it out.
Yeah. And then it's just a long school. It's
Now-
not even wide, it's literally just like long.
Now, one thing that I don't know if you're aware of, when we're driving on, and UTEP's to the left side and Juarez is to the right.
The border highway.
Okay. There's an empty plot of land there, right after Executive. There used to be a refinery called Sarco, and they tore that down and they had to like remove all the contaminants in the ground and everything. But people are saying UTEP should buy that.
Do what with it?
Expand their campus. So how would you feel if you had a class
to Executive?
Yeah. On the other side of Sunbowl. That flat land?
I have to see the flat land. I'll look it up right now. But I mean, fuck no.
Watch your language.
Sorry. I'm not going to across. Hold on. I gotta make sure I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Is it on this side of the highway or is it towards like?
Yeah. Okay. UTEP to your left, the flat part to your right.
And we're on the
Right
border
past
highway.
executive. Right past executive. No, we're on I-10. Between I-10 and border highway.
Okay.
Well, actually between border highway and Paisano.
This empty land.
Yeah. You don't see it?
Well, I'm on the campus map, so.
No, get up. It's not on campus.
I know, but I'm trying to see the land, dude.
Go to Google Maps.
I'm going.
Okay.
Hold on.
Type in Smelter Town.
Smelter Town?
Yes. Do you know what smelting is?
Yeah.
What is it?
You melt stuff down and rebuild it.
Right. You combine stuff, right?
Yes.
So that's what Sarka would do. And all their slag, all the leftover stuff.
That?
Where?
That's
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Hold on. What is this?
That's Kid Field.
Oh, that's not Kid Field. That's up.
No, well, that's Kid Field. That's the practice field.
No, that's not, dude. That's Kid Field.
Okay, then
These are the dorms.
Okay, go back up. Go back. We'll move the screen. We want to go down.
Okay.
Sorry, you guys. I just got to show them this real quick. Now go left.
This?
Yeah.
What do they got built there?
They were saying
That's almost nothing.
Okay,
And that's in
zoom out.
Mexico.
That's in Mexico?
Yes.
Then
The Rio Grande's the border highway.
All right. Okay. There, that empty lot right there. That.
This thing. Okay.
Yes.
I'm not going across the highway. That's a far distance. What do you mean?
It is. That's one of the reasons.
Why are people saying to go there?
Because it's already flat and you can build on it. And it's cheap.
But yeah, how are you gonna get there though? You're
That's a good
gonna
point.
cross the highway? Yeah, no, thank
They would
you.
build a ramp across the freeway for the students.
That's stupid. Why you added another ramp to UTEP just to go like under I-10?
Or you'd go over. That's what a ramp is.
It could be under.
Yeah.
But
Why would you do a ramp under something? You want a ramp to go over something. You're going, you hit a wall, you put a ramp, you go over.
honestly, the wall's like all the way the fuck up there. Sorry.
All right. Well, I digress. Sorry, I had to give my kid a quick GPS lesson here.
Okay. Not a GPS lesson. Just a stupid people's idea.
Well,
of
UTEP hasn't
lesson.
done it yet. I don't know if they're going to or not, but
I don't see why they would.
you don't want to do all that walking, huh?
Mm-mm.
You know, what I want to do, you guys, is when we're talking about all these terms, understand where we're coming from, but also know where we're going. So let's get some examples with today's heat map.
Here is the heat map for finding a career path. Research the job placement rates and average starting salaries for both paths in the fields that interest you. The data is out there. Visit both a college campus and a trade school. Get a feel for the different environments. Talk to people. Find professionals in both tracks and ask about their experiences. Right, Murph Man?
That's right. I put things in there to mess with you every now and then. Okay, you got to research the job placement rates. You know, if you were to research,
Excuse me.
research top 5 expected vacancy jobs or job vacancies in which field has the job vacancies. All right.
Top 5 vacancy jobs.
So you want to go and get those placement rates and starting salaries for both paths. So ask yourself, where do you want to go? Remember last week we talked about the career interest game and give you ideas of jobs. So ask yourself, these are 2 interesting things. How much is it going to cost me to go to college or to go to the trade school? And how much am I going to get paid in the long run? So see which route is better for you. But like, which are the 5 fields right now, Connor?
Registered nurses, nurse practitioners, software engineers with data scientists and IT security analyst.
Those are the top 5 needed ones right now. What I'm surprised is not on there is AI. That's one of the things I'm surprised is not on there.
Good.
Connor, You got to
I
get on the
know you've said
bandwagon.
this. Get it.
No, you don't.
I get it.
So you can look at the data there, especially go to ONET, your network and all that. We talked about this last week. But go to ONET and look for your jobs. Right? Visit a college campus and a trade school. Go actually visit the campus. See what they offer. Talk to them. Like if you were to walk into college and say, you just walk up and say, I want to your college, they're gonna be like, make an appointment, right? Trade school, they'll be like, yeah, let me show you around. Let me tell you, because they're smaller and they can more personal. You get to know your teachers and your crew a lot better, You also want to talk to people. You want to find professionals in both tracks and ask their experiences. We've talked about job shadowing. We've talked about what you can do to know a job. Take your kid to work day. That's the whole point of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
The interesting thing about it is when you're sitting there talking to someone, what question are you going to ask them? Are you going to say, what question would you ask somebody if you wanted to, like if you wanted to go talk to someone about cybersecurity?
What do you actually do in the job?
What do you actually do? Why is that important?
To know what actual specialists and experts do, because it can be different from what you're told. So I just wanted to get the experience of someone that actually has a job.
One of the things I think is funny is IT people. You call them up and you're like, I need to try something. I need to fix something or whatever. They Google it if they don't know the answer. You're just a glorified researcher. Getting paid bank, right? But
sometimes
when I have trouble with my computer and I have to call someone, I tell them, look.
He's a little sick.
I am so sorry. You know what? We got to record one episode that we can use at any time. So if I get sick, we can just play it. But anyway, play the tape. God, I am so out of it today.
Oh, my allergies kidding. You're talking about ITs being researcher.
Oh, that's right. So I tell people, look, I'm not an expert. I'm self-taught. I've taught myself everything that I know about computers, for the most part. And I'm exploring. I'm always learning new things, Since I started the podcast, I've learned how to do audio and video editing and whatnot, website design, whatever you got to do for this. And I'll call people up and they're like, okay, let's start here. And you got to understand, they don't know what your knowledge is, right? They don't know how much we know. So they have to start off at a basic point. When they tell me, you need to go to these settings, I said, look, here's what I've already done to save you a little bit of hassle. I've already done this, 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 this. Well, sir, we have to go through it to make sure. Here I go again, right? But they have a process they got to follow. Now, every now and then you get a clerk or a customer service guy that's been around for a while. You can tell. Oh, yeah, I know exactly what that is. Here, go to this, and boom, boom. It's just straight off the top of his head. And that is experience. All right, that's the experience with it. Someone can call me and say, I'm having trouble with my computer. And I can say, go here, go here, go here, and try this. If it's something that I've had a problem with, I know how to do it. I fixed it.
Mm-hmm. Excuse you.
I was able to fix it. And you learn from your experiences, right? So the more you do something, the better it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So think about that and ask yourself, like, what do I want to
You could hear that?
Yeah. Stop rubbing the microphone.
I'm rubbing the stand, not the actual microphone itself.
It sound vibrates, it carries through. Like if I do the table.
I can't hear that.
Yeah. That's annoying. Stop. Hey, by the way, do you know what the square root of 4489 is?
No.
Look it up.
God damn it. I don't want to look it up. I'm terrified.
Look it up. The
Hold
square
on.
root of 448.
Oh, I'm not looking that up. No, I already did the math in my head. No, 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 no,
6, 7, 6, 7.
no. Ew, you're no. I was like 9. I'm like 7 times 7. God.
No, let me tell you. We were at a restaurant where they call out the numbers, and we had 3, 6, 7, and I was waiting for her to call it out and so I could yell 6, 7, 6, 7, and she called it out in Spanish.
Hmm. Excuse you.
I wonder how many times they had to do that, where they'd be like, "Excuse me."
Mhm.
So you learn through experience, and when you leave college, you don't have a lot of experience. When you leave a trade school, you have the hands-on experience. You already know what you're doing. So you gotta include that in when you talk about your opportunity cost. Getting the 4-year degree, the trade school, going to more debt or less debt, get hands-on experience or not. Okay. I have zero problem with trade schools. Well, I can't say zero. I have one problem, which is they shut down and leave students in a lurch. But yeah, it's one of those things that you really, got to be careful with. Research the schools, research the programs you want to do, go talk to people in the job. And like I said, you go talk to someone, ask them, what does the job actually entail? For example, you have people that are mechanics, right? They're trained mechanics, but then they go work in a tire shop, because that's the only job they could get, you know.
Damn.
But then they go do mechanics on the side, you know.
Or they try to, but yeah.
Right. Your friend who goes out and does car stuff, he's rebuilding his car and stuff. It's pretty cool. He didn't take it to well, I guess he did it for his business, right? But I do think he also did it because he has an interest in it and he just wanted to learn more about it.
Well, I mean, he also did take it to school, the trade school.
Yeah.
So other people could work on it also.
Right.
So,
sometimes it's just your passion. What do you want to learn more about? There's a series I watched a few times. It's called The Librarians. Do you remember that movie, those series?
Mm-hmm.
And in one movie, the one that starts it off, they actually started the whole genre of it. He has 23 degrees, and he's taking the 24th. And the teacher says, "I'm signing off on everything that you've learned. You obviously don't need this. You're awarded your degree."
Excuse you. Yeesh.
And the guy's like, What do you mean? Like, I can't get another class for 6 weeks, or because there's nothing open, right? No mini masters, no nothing. And the doctor says, "Go out and live your life. Experience the world. There's more out there than books." And that's another thing. People go to college and let's say they become a doctor. They go out into the real world, they're not going to be able to use it the way they want to. So get out of college, even with a doctorate, you don't have the experience you need. Yeah, you can get a job and you'll learn, but you really have to do a lot of training for stuff like that. You got to get the hands-on experience, do the internships, do the partnerships, all that stuff. It's all important, right? Now, I am so sorry, you guys. I'm trying to do this show with you guys, and it's not working. Let's see what's next here.
We may have to call sick.
No. As we're talking about the heat map, I want you to think about all those things that could get you there and some of the pitfalls that we have. And when we come back from break, we will talk about that.
It's time for a break. Hot Takes with the Murph Man will return after these messages.
Welcome to Wreaths Across America, proudly partnered with Military Broadcast Radio. Walking through the cemetery, we are reminded of the profound sacrifices made.
Not every soldier resting here has someone to visit them at Christmas. They gave everything for our families.
Veterans fought for our freedom, for us to chase dreams and live the lives they never finished. This time of year, we honor them, one wreath at a time. It's about remembering their sacrifice.
How can you help honor these brave men and women? For just $17, you can honor a hero this Christmas. It might be the only wreath on their grave, the only thank you they received this season.
Make sure every veteran is remembered, not forgotten. Their service deserves our eternal gratitude.
Freedom isn't free, but remembrance can be accessible to everyone.
Join us in this meaningful cause to honor our heroes. Beaker invites viewers to help us lay wreaths for the ones who gave everything. When you buy a wreath, send Military Broadcast Radio a message. They will personalize your tribute. They'll provide a picture with a salute to your loved one and send it to you so you can still be there in spirit. Thank you for joining us in this important mission. Wreaths Across America is proudly partnered with Military Broadcast Radio. Help us remember, honor, and teach. Let our veterans' voices be heard, now and always. Thank you for your support.
Staring out this hotel window, many floors above. What's missing down there is love. Thinking through the smoke that fills my mind. Don't worry, it's not my first time. Adios, amigo. I'm so glad I seen you. I won't be seeing you around. Adios, amigo. I've been looking for you since I stepped foot in this town. They say it's all inside, heaven and hell. What happened to that angel when he fell? Give it just one try. Tell me you don't like it. Be God for a moment and don't despise it. Adios, amigo. I'm so glad I seen you. I won't be seeing you around. Adios, amigo. I've been looking for you since I stepped foot in this town. Step outside and breathe. Play a little in the street. Hope it's not me they're sending. Move on from over there. Give the kids a little scare. Oh, these fences, they need mending. Adios, amigo. I'm so glad I seen you.
Before we jump back in, a quick reminder of where to find us. For all the short clips and highlights, make sure you're following us on social media. You can find all the show details on our website, purehottakes.com. And for full show replays and exclusive premium content you won't hear anywhere else, be sure to subscribe at stream915.com.
All right, we're back. So, I've been talking about everything here, but nothing's going to really explain it to you without a story from the fire. So let me get you that story from the fire.
Jasmine loves working with her hands. She enrolls in a welding program at a local trade school. She lands a great job within a year, and she is completely debt-free. Her friend Marcus chooses a 4-year college for engineering. Both paths are completely valid, and both of them are now thriving in their chosen fields.
That's right. They're both valid. Who are we to say you're right, you're wrong? They both give you a career. They both give you the money. What more could you want, right? Because everyone takes a different path. There's some people that never go to college and are making millions of dollars right now. So who am I to say that this is the path you have to take, right?
Yeah.
So when we talk about where you're going to have pitfalls, you're going to get burned. We've talked about the action that you take for the heat map, what you have to do to go out there, research positions. But let's talk about where the pitfalls are now.
And where you get burned?
And where you get burned, yeah.
Here are a few pitfalls to avoid getting burned. Don't just assume college is the default option. Don't underestimate the earning potential of skilled trades. Look at the real data, not old stereotypes. And please, don't choose a path based on prestige. Choose based on what fits you. Now, back to the show.
All right, we are back. And when you talk about those pitfalls that you're going to have, first one is don't assume college is the default option. Again, you don't just have to go to college because that's what everybody does, right? Have a purpose. They tell you go to college, take your
4 years.
Your prerequisites. God, I'm bad today. This medication has me out. Your core classes. That apply to all the degrees. You can't go wrong with those. If nothing else, you'll become a smarter person. But then you get to that point where you got to start taking some classes for your bachelor's degree, and you're like, I don't know what I want to take. You don't want to get to that point because then you drop out, and before you know it, you're not going to go back. I'm one of the rare exceptions. I went back and got a master's degree. I dropped out as a freshman, and I went back 10 years later. And got my degree. So don't just assume you have to go to college. Okay, explore as many options as you can, guys. I told you about the career interest game. Go over there, check it out. Go to Own It, do your profile. Let the jobs come to you. You'll see all the different things you can do. It is amazing what's available out there. And don't underestimate how much money you can get paid with skills. I talked about this. People think, plumbers are trash or, they're over there in the sewers or anything. Yeah, but you're paying them hundreds of dollars to do that. It's one of those things where you'd be surprised how much you actually can make as a plumber. 120,000 easy. Electrician, same thing. And that's one of those jobs that the longer you do it, the better you get at it. More hands-on, you get it. And then look at the real data. You don't want to be stereotyping stuff. You don't want to be like, oh, that's for poor people or whatever. No. Trades are well paid. I can tell you that right now. One of the biggest things I say about college is, we go to college for heating and air conditioning. Think about that. You work indoors mostly with a college degree. Unless you're an engineer and you're out there building a bridge or something, building or whatever.
Excuse
you. And also don't choose a path because it's famous or it's popular or because everyone talks about it. Like I want to become a doctor, so people call me doctor.
Mhm.
You know, have you ever met someone? Well, I know you're just starting, but have you ever met anyone who you say, "Hi, Mr. Murphy," and they're like, "Please call me Dr. Murphy." No, yeah,
Mm-mm.
there's people like that. I worked hard for this degree,
I mean, it builds, it's like a respect, technically.
but at the same time, you don't have to call him doctor. I'm not. You're not my patient. I'm not your patient. Why should I call you doctor?
Well, I mean, depends on the class. What if it's like a nursing thing and you have to call him doctor because it's his like degree, like what he got
Well,
his doctors in.
I'm talking about just a regular person meeting a doctor. You say, "Oh, hi, Mister Whatever." No, sorry, please
Oh,
call me
well, then,
doctor.
then yeah,
You
no,
know,
that's yeah, no. I thought you
um,
meant like in school and like that was one of my teachers or something.
last night when I was getting interviewed for the news, it was like, "I need your first name, your last name, and spell it out for me." And I said, "Can I go by the Murph Man?" She goes, "Yes." I said, "Okay." So we're gonna
I'm gonna find that clip. I'll say that right now. I'm gonna find it.
we'll see if you can go to K Fox.
Okay. I'm gonna be muted.
All right, but I don't know if my clip made it to the news or not. We had 5 different people interviewed yesterday, so who knows?
What was it on? Do you remember?
Well, K Fox, KDBC, and TSM are all the same, so you can go
So
to K Fox TV
KVIS and like
and
all
KVI.
those. Okay.
No, not KVI. K Fox TV, and so you got to go out there and you got to learn about everything, and don't just do it because it's what everyone does. Don't become a lawyer just so you can say I'm a lawyer. It takes a lot of skill, a lot of education, a lot of time, money to get those positions. Don't do it just for the title, you guys. Don't do it just for the title. That's not what you want. You know, um, I was saying like I go by the Murph Man. That's my moniker. That's my stage name, and I think it's funny because people call me Murph Man. Hey Murph Man, what's up? And I'm trying to get all my peers to call me Murph Man. Um, Murph or something like that, right? For those of us in the military, we always go by last name. And excuse me. So it's one of those things that as it goes on, you'll get known by whatever title. But the title doesn't mean anything if you can't back it up. What does Murph Man mean? Nothing. That's just the name I want, right? I have it branded that way and everything. And talking with the lawyer yesterday, he goes, "You got to get that copyrighted." I'm like, "I know, I got to. I just don't have the money." So if you guys want to donate money, go to purehottakes.com and do the sponsorship. Get you guys sponsored here on the show. We'll be happy to do that with you. Or you can reach out to us at murphman@purehottakes.com. You also can call into the show if you're interested. Let me see if anyone's here. It's. I'm saying if someone wants to call into the show. You know, um, it's one of those things that you you got to do it for the right reasons because what you like. That's the most important thing. You don't have to do it because you're making money. You do it because you love it. They say it's better to do the job you love than love the job you do. You know, you don't want to do that. You want to be able to have the job that goes out there and makes you happy. Don't just go to a job because it's good money. A lot of times people leave jobs with good money. I have a friend right now, she took on a new position and making some serious money. And she doesn't like her job. She doesn't. And she can't, she doesn't want to leave it because it's good money. I'm like, but it's making you miserable. Think about it. Be careful what you do. You know, you don't want to be over there and be stuck in a career you don't want. Now, she's not stuck in a career. She's stuck in a job she doesn't like. That's a lot different. You know, in a career you don't like, There's, let me tell you something, Connor, real quick. Okay. All right. Someone's sister went to become a doctor, and then she became a psychiatrist. Do you know how long that takes?
From a doctor to be a psychiatrist?
Yeah.
8 years, 12?
12 to 15.
Okay.
Okay. She started her practice. She opened up an office, started doing her therapy. And she's like, I don't like this. I'm going to go sell houses.
Oh my God.
What the hell?
I mean, is she getting money though? Or anything?
The thing is, that's not a guaranteed income.
That's why I'm like, is she getting money
You know,
at least?
most realtors might sell one house a year. I have a few friends that sell a couple houses a year. You know, it's not the best job, but it's a good job.
So I'm just looking at the news, trying to find it, and I found something else.
Okay, time out, you guys. Time out on the show. He's looking up. He's supposed to be finding me on the internet.
Yeah, I'm on KTSM, KFox.
It's not there, right?
No.
Yeah, they haven't put it yet. And
they put in other stuff, but yeah.
He ends up with Iron Maiden going on concert in North American tour.
In Mexico City, but yeah.
North America.
Yes, but mostly Mexico City.
No,
but yeah.
that article.
I know. I know what you mean, John.
They're going to go to San Antonio on a Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Do I want to take time off and go to San Antonio for the concert?
No.
Tickets go on sale Thursday.
Thursday, I could do that. It's my online class.
Well, no, I'm saying I don't have the money to buy it right now.
Oh.
The tickets go on sale. Me being a fan of the fan club, and I get early access and all that. All right, so back to the show. And this person did a whole doctorate and got a psychiatry degree and became a realtor. Who knows if she's successful or not? I hope she is. I do hope.
I hope also.
But I want you to think of something. How much debt does she have?
Oh, that I don't know.
Several $100,000 for the doctorate program.
Damn.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars she'd have to pay off debt. And the interest is so high that you can make payments for a whole year and it doesn't even touch your balance. That's the way interest works. I know you haven't done this yet, but when you buy a house, you're paying mostly interest. Like say I'm paying $800 a month, $750 goes to interest and only $50 goes to pay off the house. Okay. So if I have a $100,000 home and I make one payment, I now have a $90,995 balance because everything is going in interest. So the first few years, if you buy a house, you got to wait at least 7 years before you sell it to make it break even all the money you put into it. You don't even start adding to the house value or anything. It's horrible. But you got to do it as you go down. And that's why they tell people, another tip here. Is as we're doing this, think about that. And God,
you're out of it today.
I am out of it today. This medication really made me out of it. Me.
I had no idea what you were gonna say, so I can't back you up.
Right. No, I know, but I'm just scatterbrained. I apologize, you guys. I'm sorry. This medication that I'm taking is not doing me too good. But yeah, so as you're doing this, let's jump ahead here. Think about all the careers you can do and everything, and avoid that. So let's talk about some heat shields real quick.
Here are your heat shields. The Career Playbook by James Citron has great advice on making strategic career choices. There are trade school directories online, like the one at nccer.org. And the government's College Scorecard website can give you real data on graduation rates and post-college earnings. At collegescorecard.ed.gov/. Here is the Murph Man with more information.
What, in a little bit?
That's right. You want to go to these websites. Career Playbook, James Citron. Great advice on making strategic choices, you guys. Trade school directories online, like nccer.org is a great one as well. You have the ONET we talked about. You have the Government College Scorecard, which gives real data graduation rates and post-college earnings. They know how much you're making when you come out of college. So look at that and be aware of that. But let's look at the next segment, which is called Afterburn, where we reflect on what we've just covered.
In today's Afterburn, here are some questions for you to reflect on. What kind of learning environment helps me thrive? What kind of lifestyle do I want to have in 5 or 10 years? What am I willing to invest in terms of time, money, and energy in my education?
All right, that's right. What kind of learning environment helps you thrive, and what kind of lifestyle do you want to have in 5 or 10 years? When they ask you, what do you want to do in 5 or 10 years? You have to have a plan. You can't go into a job and be like, I don't know. My wife was in an interview. She was interviewing a new employee, my ex-wife. And the person said, I see myself in your position in 5 years. That's pretty ballsy, right? Pretty ballsy. How much time are you willing to invest? If you got short time and you want to get in there making money, trade school is an option. If you want to take time and learn the degree and get more well-rounded for your degree. All right, so now that you have the tools, let's talk about our final word in the final burn.
The final burn from today's discussion is, success isn't spelled BA or BS. It's spelled ALIGNMENT. Alignment.
That's right, you guys. It's not spelled BA or BS. Alignment. You want to be able to be aligned with your goals and what you want to do. So right now, that's the end of our show for the educational part. We have a guest coming on. We're going to be talking to him in just a little bit. So stay tuned.
The station.
It's time for a break. Hot Takes with the Murph Man will return after these messages.
Take a moment, take your time, let it set right. Let it drive right down in your conscious tide. Lean into the better times. 'Cause in a minute, in a moment, you'll notice a shining light, one that draws you in from deep inside. Reach out and connect tonight.
back here with Jose Lira, a local artist here in El Paso. Welcome, Jose, to the Hot Takes with the Murphman podcast. How are we doing?
Hello, thank you. Good, and yourself?
Good. We met 2 weeks ago at the Kaleidoscope Art Market, and his artwork blew me away, you guys. I got to tell you, it blew me away completely. I was so impressed with his artwork, and I said, I got to have you on my podcast. And he wasn't able to do it last week, but he was able to do it here short notice. Thank you very much, Jose, for coming in. We appreciate that. How you
Thank you
doing
for
today?
inviting. Good.
Of course.
Everything good.
One question I always ask is, what gets you started in artwork? I don't know how much you want to share of your story. You're welcome to share anything you want. Like what got you
Okay.
started drawing?
Actually, drawing has always been a little passion I had ever since I was little, but I would doodle around. But my first professional art piece, you could say, started with this piece actually.
Oh wow! Right.
So I've always drawn. I've always liked this stuff. Oh yes.
Yeah, I got your Instagram on here, so
Nah, thank you. Well, okay. Personally, I've always drawn, but when it comes to professionally the art, this is what took me to start taking art seriously. So this piece I made it about 5 years ago when I had an accident. We talked about this actually. It
Yeah.
was an accident. Well, I lost a finger there. If you could see it, the piece, you could see that little signature.
little memory.
Yes. So what happens is that it happened when COVID started. So I was in a quad riding full speed, no helmet, no gear, and I had an accident, a really bad accident. And well, since it was COVID, my brothers took me to the hospital that night. The next day they did surgery. The next morning they kicked me out because they needed the space for the COVID people. So I couldn't even walk, It was a pretty bad accident. When I was home, my family would take care of me, but they'd go to work, school, so I'd be alone a lot of the times. So 2-3 days of just thinking bad things in my head, you spiral once you're alone, and after something like that. I was 21. I'm like, man, I'm 21. What am I doing with my life? What do I have to show for it? To me, art came in at that point in life when I felt trapped, and I guess that's what I wanted to depict in this picture. Some people ask me, why naked? I'm like, I guess that's how I felt during that time, vulnerable, exposed. Why the muscle striations? Why the contortions? I guess the stress, the tension. Yes.
No, I was coughing. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, and then like why in a cube? Well, as I was saying, I felt trapped during those times. It was a very tough situation mentally, but that's the thing. I realized it was mental, so I did the cubes transparent to emphasize that they're a mentality. They're mental creations. Our troubles, our traumas, they keep us trapped. So that's why I did different cubes to represent different mentalities. Sometimes we're stuck in bigger cubes that we're more free to breathe, but we're still trapped in there. Or sometimes smaller cubes that we're more stressed, more tense, more angry towards life even. So my message to the world with this piece is to break out of that box. So yeah, it was after this piece when I made it and I took a step back to look at it. That's when I realized I wanted to do art, and now I've been going at it.
Well, that's the piece you had out that night that I saw you at the art market, and it just caught my eye. It's a beautiful piece of artwork, you guys. If you get a chance to see it, it's amazing.
Oh, thank you. It's
I really appreciate your story, Luis. Thank you for sharing that with us. It's amazing. The fact that you took it to another level is basically what happened. And I'm glad you did. I'm glad you're still around to do this. Now,
No,
do you have a
thank you.
gallery by any chance? I'm just curious if you have a gallery or your Instagram. Do you want to give out any information?
Well, at the moment, I'm still working. I'm a slow worker because of the process, the thinking process I do. Like for example, the uh, maybe I could show you the original piece so you could see that one actually, the one with the star, the El Paso piece.
Well, this one you're talking about. Okay, hold on. Let me take that off the screen.
So this is the original piece actually.
Hold on, let me see here. I'm trying to. No, I'm trying to give you the best screen to show that. Give me a sec. No.
What would be the picture and picture layout?
Picture in picture. There you go. All right, so you can see that.
Yes.
It's now,
all done.
Yeah, let me see if I can do it on here. Mira, Luis, I put it on here so you can see it.
Yes. Yes. So that piece, it's made with thousands and thousands of dots. It's all individual dots, and this piece took me like a year to make. So that's what I mean with my art. It sometimes takes a while to make. So I'm currently working on pieces so I could put up in a gallery. I still don't have a date, but I'm working towards it. And yeah, on my Instagram, whenever I have something, I'll share with you guys. It's at JJLira13.
At JJLira13. Got that. You guys got to see his artwork. Let me just go through some of these artworks for you real quick, okay? So I can show them to everybody.
Yes, yes.
Anything you want to say about that one? The frog?
No, that one. I was just it's just an interesting concept with conspiracy theories, I guess. With the UFO abducting a person with a DNA modification, or like with a frog smoking, the higher self, the representation of the higher self. It was just a fun little piece. That's how my brain works, I guess.
That's fine. And then this one here, the heart.
Oh, that one was a little gift for my fiance. So yeah, it's just a little art piece I made for her.
You know, and looking at all these artworks, what's your favorite medium to use?
I actually like using everything. I'm mainly self-taught. So I actually like to practice and give a chance on every type of medium just to see, because I realized that, oh, I work better with this, or I work better with that other thing. I actually like combining medias. So whichever one's the favorite.
Well, yeah, whatever hits your moment, right at that moment, whatever strikes your fancy. So the stipling that you did with the moon and the star on the mountain, the one you were doing dot by dot, you know.
Yes.
You use how many colors on that? I think you said 7.
Oh yes. Well, this is a little print, but it's smaller to show. So for the moon specifically, I used 7 colors for the moon. It's hard to see. It's an amazing piece. It's a piece you have to see in person to believe it. The mountain.
It's an amazing piece of art.
The mountain actually has 10 colors.
Oh wow.
Yes.
You know, think about that, you guys. A dot by dot by dot. You know, I would say there's millions in there, easy. You say thousands. Probably a million if you really were to go count it or something.
Probably.
I think that's an amazing
almost
piece of art, you know. I don't have the patience for that. I don't, you know. And I'm not creative like that. So the fact that you're able to do something like that, that just, it's so simple. Like I can put a dot on a piece of paper, right? You can do that too. You know, we can put 2 dots, right? We can put 3.
I can put 10.
I can put 100.
I can put 500.
I can put 1,000,000. Does it mean I'm drawing anything? No, it doesn't. It's just it just dots on the paper to me. You know, one of my jokes I tell people, well, not really a joke, but I went to the art museum in Denver with my father and my wife, and we were walking in, and there's this display with four purple velvet robes, right? Like, and a crown at the top of each one. And I
Okay.
looked at that and said, wow, that royalty is so high above us. We're just peasants. And my father looked at me like, what are you talking about? I was like, yeah, the regal color purple. I'm not artistic like this at all, right? But it hit me. It hit me, whatever reason. And there's another piece of artwork. I don't know if you remember, by Bassett Elementary. Have you ever seen the one by Bassett Middle School off of Alabama? It's like a statue, and it's two statues in one. I don't know if you've ever seen that's the artwork.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, I
Go,
don't believe I have.
go to Arizona and Alabama and whatever street is right there by the Bassett. Anyway, someone sees this, and it's three prongs basically holding up a rock,
Oh.
and I'm like, I saw that, and I'm like, that's like a father helping his kid. I don't know where this stuff comes from, right? In my head, I just see something, and it's like, okay, that's how I interpret it. And that's the thing about art. Everyone sees it differently. But
Yes.
my favorite piece of art that I love to joke about is someone went and drew a blue circle. That's all. And
Okay.
and I looked at that and I said, you feel alone and you're depressed, right? You're blue. I'm not artistic, but sometimes certain pieces move. And that piece you had with the man in the box, I don't know, what do you call it? That piece.
That piece I called it incubation. Incubation.
Incubation.
Yes.
Excuse me, I got really bad allergies.
That's okay.
And that's the thing, right? That incubation, that's a really great name for that. But that piece, I saw it and I stared at it for a little while. I really did. I was just like looking at it, and I was so impressed with it. Rarely does a piece of art move me. I can say, like I tell you, those three pieces of art I talk about, the
Yes.
robes, the blue dot, the little statue I was telling you about, it's you're the fourth one I can say that actually I can say has touched me, so to speak. It spoke to me, and I know it's not easy to do this. Excuse me. Now, I'm wondering, on your Instagram, do you have the picture of the mirror image? You know what I'm talking about?
The which image?
The one that you have with the easel.
Oh, no, actually, I haven't. I should upload that one, but yes, I
You can
haven't.
upload, okay. Because yeah, it's he has a piece of art, and it's two pieces of art on the outside, right?
Yes.
And then on the inside, he has a word written here, and then he has a mirror in the shape of a heart over here. So you have to get in there with a light, and at the right angle, you can read what he has over here. You want to talk about that piece?
Okay. Well, that piece, I mean, so the reason I did that piece, I was trying to promote this piece, right? So on one of the sides, on the outside, I had a bunch of these stickers, just like as a wallpaper. That was one of the sides. The other side, it was just a red happy face with my signature. On the inside, what I was trying to do, it's basically, if you noticed, the outside, I painted it black. And on the inside, I left the color of wood. It wasn't a wood base, you could say. So On the heart, the heart was broken mirror. It was broken pieces put into a heart, and very tedious work, but I love the end result. So, and then on the other side, I actually wrote "Love Thyself," but backwards. So once you see it in the mirror, you could see it straight, like I'm supposed to read it. Love thyself. What I try to say with that piece is basically that on the outside we may put a face, a front, or we might be proud of things we do, but at the end of the day, it's what matters is what's on the inside. So that's why I wanted to show that message: love thyself first before you could continue on with any other projects you want to do.
And
that's my
that's
message with
a very
that
good
piece.
point. Excuse me. That's my point. The love thyself. I remember it was something like that. I don't want to misquote you, but that was also very interesting because it's a broken heart, and you got to love yourself before you can love anyone else. You have to accept who you are
Yes.
before you can accept someone into your life. And it's
Yes.
cool because the love thyself, you don't really talk about that. People don't talk about loving yourself. You got to know who you are, and that's what you came across as very genuine when I met you. You came across as a person that really knew what he wanted to do, and you have a vision, you have a goal, and let me ask, is this all that you do, or do you have like a real, I'm not asking you to tell me where you work, but I'm saying, do you have a full-time job also, and you do this on the side, or is this your full-time hobby?
So what happens is that art, for the past 5 years, basically, when I started, I've been taking it on and off. So
Okay.
I sometimes struggle as an artist, but then I get a job, and I've been back and forth like that, doing
Okay,
art
all
full
right.
time and going back to work.
Hey, some is better than
I'm
none.
currently doing this full time. Actually, I'm doing art full time. I'm concentrating. I go to events. I've gotten to travel a little bit. I've been lucky enough,
All right.
fortunate enough to do that, to travel and put my art out there, other cities, other states. So I'm kind of happy about that. So this is my full-time job currently. It pays the bills. That's all I could say. So
Okay.
I'm just trying to work more on my art.
Excuse me. And that's what I want to point out, because you're doing something you love. That's part of, I know you weren't here for the whole episode, but we talked about doing something you love. It's not always about the money. It's about doing what you love.
Yes.
And, but at the same time, you have to get paid. You have to do something to make money, and luckily I have a full-time job, and I can do this on the weekends,
Yes.
you know.
No,
Um,
yes, of course.
but this isn't paying me right now, you know. This is something I want to do. Hopefully it grows. That's what I'm trying to do. Appreciate you coming on with that. But you're
No,
doing the
yes.
job you love. And that's what I really love about you, because I know you really believe in yourself. And that's such a big proponent of everything that we're doing here.
No, yes,
So,
I.
let me see. Do you have any questions for him, Connor? No?
That I think of.
All right. What about you, Jose? Is there something you want to mention and talk about?
Well, I mean, I guess what you were saying right now, I'm a big believer of people should follow their dreams. I really do believe that. After this accident, honestly, I think that's something I've learned. We all take life for granted and waste it doing times that we personally just don't like, or maybe just to follow crowds. Um, I guess my message is follow your dreams and work hard towards them. I
One thing I
believe in
tell
it, and well,
exactly.
no,
And
just
you have to work hard. But like I tell my kid, you have to be able to live your life and understand that any moment can be taken away. just like that, poof.
Yes.
I know that's not what we're really talking about, but when I talk about people who lose somebody in their lives, have you ever heard the phrase, you have to grieve for a whole year, you have to wear black for a whole year? Have you ever heard that phrase before?
Yes, yes.
Do you know why you do that? I'm just curious.
No, actually. I'm not really sure.
The reason people wear black is it's to remember the person, but it's to show that you're mourning and all that stuff. It leaves a void. When someone dies, they leave a void in your life. Okay? And grieving is filling that void. So, for example, let's pretend my son were to pass away. All right. Obviously, the podcast would be a little different because he wouldn't be here, right? I'd have to find something to fill that spot as an employee. Now, as a son, I'm never going to be able to replace him, right? So there's always going to be that void.
Yes.
But I date younger girls, so maybe I could have another kid. But the thing is, like, for example, I like to go watch football games, right? And we go watch football games. If he were to be gone all of a sudden, who would I go watch games with? That leaves a void in my life. So you actually have to experience that for a whole year because you don't realize what holidays or events, like, for example, let's pretend you and your family go to the Sun Bowl game every year. It's Christmas time, it's New Year's time. Okay, we get that. Holidays are always hard for people, but that specific event, that Sun Bowl game, is what you used to do with that person. And that event is what gives. So you have to experience an entire year of life to understand where that person has been gone, where they left the void. That's why you do it for a whole year. And that's what I believe. That life can be taken away so quickly on a spur of the moment. And the example I always use is a plane could fall on our head right now and we could be dead. It's that simple. And then 9/11 happened. Those 3,000 people that died went to work and weren't expecting the plane to crash into the building. That's not something you expect.
Yes.
So the advice I give everybody is whoever you have issues with, try to fix those and tell yourself, okay, I'm okay with this person or I'm not okay with this person. And if you're okay and something happens to them, you're not, it's going to be sad, but it's not that bad. But if you're not okay and they pass, you're going to have a lot of regrets. So
yes,
it's one of those things that, I want to point out to everybody here about that. And, grieving, and I'm going to go back to the beginning of your story. I don't know if you ever thought about this, but when you had your injury, you grieved who you used to be. Does that make sense? Right?
Yes.
And
yes.
You had to find a new you. And I think you've done that.
Yes. It's part of growth, I believe.
Did I blow your brain with that comment?
No, yes, well, I guess it's part of growth, part of life, part of growth. We all learn something from ourselves as time passes. So I believe it's just to pay attention to situations and opportunities that they're always open, you just gotta understand them.
You gotta change with it, and
yes,
and your artwork, do you draw inspiration from anything in particular, or just something that happens around you and you're like, I'm going to do something? Or do you prefer drawing, like, I saw the mask that you drew, the artwork, your anatomy drawing is amazing. Again, incubation is amazing. So I've seen some of your work and it's very different. It's not like you draw the same thing. And I don't know if you remember, I told you when I was in art school, all I did was I put a sun in the corner and I drew a mountain and then put a lake. That was my thing with trees.
No.
I'm not artistic, so, like, where do you draw inspiration from?
Um, honestly, I guess life itself is a teaching. A lot of you could learn a lot from other people and life situations, and you could come up with stuff, just connect those patterns, connect those takes, and well, amazing stuff comes out. I guess some people just have that creativity to put it into a visual representation. I like to believe I could do that.
You can make something
But
from nothing.
yeah, it's just ideas and connecting different themes and ideas and see where that takes you. Like there's another one I wanted to show.
Okay, I see the Earth. Is that a bathtub on top of the Earth? It looks like a bathtub or a
No,
satellite.
actually,
What do you think that is?
it's an Earth in a watch.
Oh, and a watch. Oh, that okay. See, I was looking
Yes,
at the white
watch.
the white box above it. Oh, watch. Okay, an Earth and a watch. Okay,
The
tell me
white
about that
box.
one.
So with this piece, it's like we all live a certain time here on Earth. And we all go through different chapters, different pages throughout life. So it's basically what I wanted to represent with this, the change in time we all go through, the different chapters, different takes on
You know, amazing again. I've talked to other artists and they tell me, they have this abstract idea what it means, like really weird stuff sometimes. Your stuff is like real and it's there and
Like it makes sense.
it makes sense. It makes sense, you know what I mean? Time on Earth, and he does a watch with an Earth. Where the hell do you get that idea, Jose? That's amazing.
it's just I don't know, my mind. So
But
sometimes
seeing
just things pop in.
last week we were talking about this game we call career interest game, and we talked about people who are artistic and can come up with novel ideas. I'm not, he's not, but those kind of people can see the world differently than everybody else. You guys see the world differently. That's just, you're built different. And that's a really cool thing. You see the world differently through your eyes. It's amazing. It's amazing to see it through your eyes. Do you have any other pieces of artwork you want to show?
Oh, I have this one. This one might seem a little darker, but it's not, I promise.
Trees in the forest? Is that okay? And what's that red and blue?
Cool.
Can you see it?
Very.
Raise it up a little bit.
Are they hanging from the trees?
Are they hanging from the trees? They are. All right.
Yes.
Tell us about that one.
So with this piece, I mean, have you guys heard of like the Tree of Life?
Yes.
Okay, to me, each person is connected to a tree through a string, a rope, whatever. As a tree grows, a person grows mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. But then throughout life, well, things happen, situations happen, and we all tend to die within life. That's why I wanted to represent death, a symbolic death, through the darkness and the dead trees. The people hanging, they're not really dying, they're just being weighed down. As humans, we tend to let ourselves be weighed down by our emotions, our burdens, our troubles. So yeah, this is basically a representation of part of a human condition, you could say. Just that we sometimes let our troubles weigh us down in life, and it just keeps us stuck.
That's awesome. That is just amazing. I love the way his like you said, his artwork makes sense, right? You know, the tree of life. You know, and what's really interesting, to use your analogy of the tree, as a tree grows, you have to prune it off in certain parts, you know, to give it the strength to be able to grow bigger and better. And that's how I look at things that happen to us.
Yeah.
You know, something happens, that branch gets cut off. It makes you a stronger person, and you can grow.
Yes.
You know, but you got to have the roots to be able to support that, the foundation. You know, there's trees that when the wind blows, you see these trees fall over, and their roots aren't even deep; they're just on the surface. You know, excuse me. The, the roots are just they're not deep. So the deeper the roots, the stronger a tree can be. And every time you prune it, every time something happens to the tree, it gets stronger. You know, at the same time, it can grow if, like, for example, if you have fruit on a tree, the fruit's pulling the tree down. You don't take it off, eventually the fruit's going to
Yeah.
fall off, right? But it's really interesting your analogy of the human and the tree of life. I like that analogy too. You know, I really do. I appreciate that. It's interesting. You have anything you want to say about that one?
I was muted this whole time.
No.
I thought it was. It looked super dark.
You think so?
From like without knowing it, yeah.
Well, yeah.
A little bit.
You know,
But I mean, I don't really have anything to say about it.
okay.
So I mean, but I was just like, first thought was just, whoa.
What did you think about his incubation, the man in the box?
That one hurt. Like that one was deep.
Right.
And actually like exposed some stuff, which was nice for you to like show it off in that type of perspective, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
You know, and what about the stifling with the ice, the moon and the star in the mountain?
I like the hometown, you know, showing how beautiful El Paso is, and then a very like unique like technique on how to like actually paint it.
You know, and Jose actually gave me one of his prints.
I remember.
Jose, do you sell your prints online or anything?
I'm still not in I still don't have online. I
Okay.
mainly go to events, shows, Comic Cons even, just local markets, and I sell prints. These are prints, the prints I sell.
Okay.
But yeah, that's how I've been selling these as prints.
And do you have like a limited number of series, like, you know, one of 250 or something like that?
No,
Or you
with
just
these, no.
reprint?
With these, I'm just trying. With future pieces, I want to. I will, but with these, since I'm trying to spread a message, I want people to be able to have a piece of that.
Right on. You know, your artwork is amazing, man. I gotta tell you, it's amazing. Now, you have your Instagram, which is JLita13 or JJ? What's your
It's
handle?
JJ Lita.
JJ Lita. JJ Lita 13 on Instagram,
Yes.
you guys. You can follow him. Do you have any other social media?
I actually have another Instagram account. It's called Loser Creations 13. There, at the moment, I have more art there, but that Instagram I'm gonna be using for like fan art. There's some of my fan art there, Dragon Ball Z and Jack the Skeleton. It's stippling work. I have some more work there too, but I'll be using that mainly for fan art now. But for my professional art, I'm gonna be using the JJ Lita 13 from now on.
All right. You know, you mentioned God, I'm drawing a complete blank here. What was the first thing you mentioned before Jack Skeleton that you'd like to draw?
Oh, Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z. I know one of the guys who used to do the voices for them. He's a comedian. And he actually would do all 7 voices.
Oh wow. Cool. Okay.
And when I met him and he told me that, I was like, what's Dragon Ball Z? I don't, it doesn't make sense to me. And oh, that's his artwork. My kid's looking up your page.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's good stuff, right? I couldn't remember his other page name.
This is the all dots awesome.
Yeah.
And then this is the Nightmare Before Christmas.
Do you want me to show your other page, Jose? Let me see here.
Yes, yes.
Let me see here. Give me a sec.
Sorry, I'm just like I'm looking at it through my phone and like zooming in on it.
What is it again? Loser Creations?
Loser Creations 13.
Yes. It's because I needed a little more professional name. That's why I'm gonna use JJ Lira 13 now.
I'm an idiot.
Oh, it's not deleting. Just go to search.
Hold on. I'm sorry.
Top. Oh, you misspelled it.
Thanks for calling me out, Connor.
Well, I mean, there.
All right. So let's get this over here. Okay, let me see if I can do this. All right, so I'm going to share a screen here. And you can tell us about this one. Hold on. Let's do the jack scoping first. There you go.
Oh, yes. Well,
that's stippling
this
too.
piece,
Also.
yes, it's all stippling. The original piece is 18 by 24. Also took a while to do it. It's very tedious work. With this piece, I wanted to represent actually my fiance and our dog. So I'm like,
Okay.
oh, it's a little romantic piece I made for her.
That's cool. Nothing wrong with that. Now let me see. Add this other piece here. This is Dragon Ball Z one you were talking about.
Oh yes, that's actually one of my favorite pieces. It's all
Connor liked it.
stippling too. It's all.
And then
that one
this
was
other one,
very.
that one was very what?
Oh, that one's was very tedious. All the movement, the dragon, the colors, choosing the right colors. It was a challenge, but it ended up being one of my favorite pieces that I've done so far, actually.
That's amazing. And then let me show you the last one that I liked. I don't know what you call it, right? But I'm going to call it La Raza. This one here. Is that stipling too?
No, it's a spray paint.
A spray paint? Did you do that one?
Yes.
Jose?
Yes, that one's actually spray paint and acrylic. I did this background all spray paint and just the details, the eagle, the snake, with acrylic brush.
That's amazing. I love it.
Then if you go through the slides, you can see like how it's like
Oh.
that's technically.
Oh, I haven't had a chance to go through this whole page there.
No, I meant like just go through the post itself.
Oh, yeah. I'm not used to Instagram like that. So, but yeah, that's amazing stuff, Luis. I'll say. I don't know. I remember when I first met you, I was calling you Luis. I didn't know why. I don't know. I saw Jay Lira and I said Jose Luis. I don't know. But Jose, I do want to thank you for your time today. I really appreciate you coming on and sharing your artwork with us and your story with us. I really, really do appreciate you taking that time. and I love your artwork, and I'm hoping we can get this out there so people can see it and get interested in getting more things from you. So
yes.
JJ13 on Instagram and Loser Creations 13. So Jose, don't go anywhere. Just wait around. I'm gonna end the show, and we'll be right. I'll talk to you in a sec. Okay?
Yes.
All right. Hold on. All right, everyone. That is our show for today. I want to thank you all for sticking around. Jose, thank you for coming out to our show. Connor, great show. Thank you. I appreciate everything, and everyone have a very nice day. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Hot Takes with the Murph Man. Your listenership truly means a lot to both of us. For the latest hot takes and much, much more, be sure to visit purehottakes.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media platforms as Hot Takes with the Murph Man to stay connected and join the conversation. My take is this show is over. Thanks for listening, and I'll have more for you next time.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.